What to do if he doesn't pay on debt. Hello ladies, thanks for tuning in. Before we start, please like and subscribe. Don't forget that you can win 2 spots to join my group coaching program. Later on in the video, I'm gonna write something on screen and you need to type it down in the comment section. This is how I know that you're entering. And to double your chances to win, you can join my mailing list as well, because I'm gonna pick a winner in there as well. So I want to talk about men who don't pay on debt, and I want to talk about what you have to do if this happens to you. So some men won't pay at all on a debt because they consider that they don't have to do it, and they don't think that this is something that they have to do to seduce you. But in most cases, they know that they're supposed to do it, but they just don't because they are and broke and cheap. So some men don't pay on debt because they don't have much, and they need to see many women to manage to have at least 1 year. So it's normal for them to not pay. And it doesn't mean that you aren't attractive. A man can find you extremely attractive, but still think that he doesn't have to pay. He doesn't consider that it's important for him to seduce you by paying stuff for you. You see, this is how they think. And you also have some men who will pay 50-50. Like by 50-50, I mean that today they will pay, and next time you go out with them, they will expect you to pay. And you also have men who say that, well, you also have men who will pay in courtship, and then once you guys are officially together and you guys have been dating for a while, will expect you to pick up the check. And other men will be 60-40 men, and by that I mean like they will pay 60% of the time and 60% of the bill, but they expect you to pay little things. You see, so this video will be about that. Let's say that this is the first date and he expects you to pick up the check, or maybe this is the second or the third date, because in many cases actually men will pay for the first date and then they will expect you to pay next time. So if he expects you to pay, you pay for yourself, but you don't pay for him. Okay, so you share the bills. You don't pick up the check entirely for him and for you. So this is the second thing. And if he's your boyfriend and now he's asking you when we'll start paying, you need to tell him what you expect from a relationship, because he's also telling you what he's expecting from a relationship, right? And you should not be ashamed of telling him that it doesn't make sense to you to date a guy who doesn't pick up the check, because this is part of romance. You see, and it doesn't matter how much money he has, and actually think that if he doesn't make enough to be able to pay for 2 meals, he's not ready to date right now. So if you want to enter the giveaway, enter the word that I put here and leave it in the comment section. I know that some women aren't comfortable when it comes to this and talking about money, because it's still a taboo, at least in Western society. This is a taboo, but I remember watching a documentary on China and how they date, and I remember back then I was shocked. One girl was looking for her mate, and I remember when she met the guy, she asked him, how much do you make? And then he was like, yeah, I make 2K a month. And then she was like, okay, no, this is too little for me. And the guy was so sad. It wasn't like, oh, she's a gold digger. It was like, I don't make enough and women don't want me. Men know that they are supposed to make enough for two, and most of them, I would say, aren't that cheap. It's just that they don't have much, but in most cases when they don't do it, it's because they don't make enough for two. So keep in mind that this video isn't for students, and if he's a student, then it will be normal that he can't be able to provide for two. And when I say provide, it's like paying for your rent and all of that. This is completely normal unless he comes from a very rich family. But still, if he's a student, he should still be able to take you on cute dates and put in effort. So when you are a student, of course, the places where we'll take you to will be cheaper, but still it still needs to be nice, and he still needs to pay for you, you see. But my content is mostly for millennials anyway. As a student, you should still expect him to do nice gesture for you. If he buys himself sneakers, video games, and all of that, he can take you to a cute place. And also, if both of you aren't students anymore, then you can totally expect him to pay for two. And if right now he can't pay for two, then he needs to work on it and come back to you if he's ready for that kind of relationship. And I want to clarify this, because this is not about being a gold digger. He knows that he's getting a lot of benefits by dating you, and you need to have yours as well. He's getting his needs met. You are beautiful. You make him look good in front of others. You have a strong feminine energy. You are easy to live with. You are playful, and he has access to you. And you sleep with him, and you satisfy him sexually. You buy lingerie and all of that. So it's completely normal for you to expect him to fulfill your needs as well. And your most basic needs as a feminine woman is having a man who can provide for two. You see, you aren't a gold digger, and don't be ashamed or don't be afraid to communicate those standards. The other day, I made a video to talk about if a man should pay for your rent or not, or your boyfriend. And one girl left a comment to ask if she should bring it up, or if the man should pay on his own without you having to say anything. And I answered that you have to take it the way men communicate their needs. For example, most men love lingerie, right? And most women know that men enjoy that, so we naturally buy it, and we put in more effort regarding our undergarment. But it's true that some women don't do it and some women neglect themselves. And I know that in many cases men have no problem telling you, I love lingerie. Men are very visual and they need to love what they see, and that's completely okay. And I know that many women are afraid to communicate their needs and to say what they want in a relationship because they're afraid of judgment. But men won't judge you for that. Like, they won't be shocked, like, oh my God, she expects me to pay for her rent. They know this is what expected, okay? And they know that the women who didn't ask for anything were just women with a low self-esteem, but they know what they're supposed to do when they date. So you have nothing to worry about. And also what I want to say is that when you have that kind of relationship, it's because the man makes enough for two. So this should not be a surprise for him to be expected to provide when he has enough for two.